I've been a little secretive about my new attachment. Well, here it is. Let's give it a look. A tiller. What do you think, Bullseye? Yeah? I think it's pretty much brand new. It looks like it's run like 2 or 3 rounds, and every one of the tines is kind of boogered up on the ends. I don't understand that, but it's not been run hardly at all. That's a tiller for the mini excavator. It's not sponsored. In fact, I bought it at auction. I don't even think this tiller is available for purchase anymore new. I think they've discontinued this. It's ROTOTILLER, and I did see one available on eBay, but I bought this one at auction. It came all the way from the state of Oregon. I paid $325 for it. Well, I guess by the time you add that buyer's premium, $367, I believe. And then I paid over $500 to have it shipped. So I've got $800 and some into this, almost $900 into this tiller. I think you can probably picture how I intend to use it. I intended to put on that excavator and just be able to till those steep banks. Now today's project is actually not to run the tiller. I wish it was, but it's prep for that. The coupler that it came with is not compatible with my excavator. So this is compatible with some cat excavator, I believe, and probably almost any pin grabber. It's bolt on here, so I'll remove this, and then I've got to get a coupler for my excavator. We'll go in and I'll show you what I've got in mind there. Are you not used to getting up there? Yeah, you have to get up here. That's where you have to go. So I looked all over the internet for some specific bucket ears for the Kubota excavator. I don't know if you can see them. These are the ears that I got right here. And I went ahead and put them on the excavator. I could take this pin out and show you how they come on and off, but that's where they are. Now, the set that I bought, I actually paid extra for because the picture showed on eBay that they were already welded together with this plate right here. And if you've watched our channel very long, you know that I am not an expert welder. I'm hardly even good enough to call myself an amateur welder, but I'm going to take that challenge on today. Again, I expected these to have already been put together, but I'm going to have to try to put them together. I've got several concerns about doing a decent job on this, but we'll give it a try. The reason I wanted to get these all pre-welded, these 2 ears, onto this piece is because I'm concerned about warping them, right? Getting them positioned appropriately, vertically, and as I weld them, I'm afraid I'm going to pull them inward or outward. So the approach I think I'm going to use here is just leave it hooked to the excavator. It seems to me like that might be the easiest approach for me to work with. I can then make sure that it's going to fit. It may not be perfect, but at least to be able to tack it and then proceed from there. Yeah, that's my biggest concern is keeping from twisting or warping the steel as I get it hot. And I have really very little experience firsthand at this, so I don't know how hot I can heat it without warping it. Things that just take experience to deal with. So I'm trying to combat that the best I can. Now, the last time I welded, I destroyed one of my cameras because I had the camera too close and I splattered on it. So you can blame that for the reason I'm a little bit distant this time. Now, I've got that welder set pretty hot because this is thick steel, but I'm going to try to just tack it here. popping pretty hard. I'm not sure I understand that, unless it's that oil on the...
Folks, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like the video and if you would subscribe to our channel. I hate asking for that. I feel like it's self-serving. I would really appreciate you helping our stats by liking and subscribing. That'll really help us to be able to continue making videos. Thanks very much.
I suspect the popping is indeed that oil. I don't know if I could clean it up just a little bit. Yeah, a lot less popping now that I've cleaned it a little better. See what kind of damage I'm doing. Oh, that looks pretty good. Pin's still loose. Kind of want to just take my time here and not get any of it too hot. I believe in this case here I got a little off to the side here for a while. It's hard for me to see. That's probably one of the biggest challenges, and I don't know, it's probably because I don't know what I'm looking for, right? But I actually think I'm doing a suitable job. I believe I'm getting penetration there. I need to go inside then out some. I'm trying to decide whether I want to put some gussets on the inside or whether this is going to be good enough. Okay, got that done.
I welded the inside too, but it was off camera.
Yeah, I kind of butchered it, but that's just the way it is. I've never claimed to be an expert welder. I'm not even an amateur welder. So that's good enough though, especially when we see the next step. I'm pretty sure that's going to be strong enough to hold what we need to hold here. Okay, well, this one's got an angle right here, and a piece of angled steel. Got 3 holes in it. My adapter is wider, but it's not wide enough to get 4 holes in it. Well, this one is 1/4 inch steel for that angle. I think I might do mine a little bit differently, but very similar. I'm thinking about using these angle pieces right here. This is from my Tractor Basics tiller. That's the pallet they shipped it in. And I'm thinking I can just cut some of those off. I'm not quite sure that's as thick as the other one, but it's the same size, 1.5 inches this way. If it turns out not to be thick enough, well, that'll make a video adventure on its own. High price saw I got here, I know. Harbor Freight.
Now when you see the drill stop here, it's the belt slipping in the top of the drill press. I couldn't see the obvious way to tighten that belt, but quite frankly it's probably good to not push it so hard anyway, so I just worked with the slippage. I'm grinding some of the paint and, well, rust, whatever, off of that so that I can have a cleaner surface to weld. This is an example of one of those times where carrying my ISO tunes in my pocket works great for me because I can quickly get them out, put them in my ears to protect my hearing, and I wish I would have done that from the time I was young. isotunesaudio.com, use code TTWT for a 10% discount.
Okay, I should have it kind of tacked in place. We're going to use this, and then I'll have to position the other one where it needs to go. Have I said I'm not a very good welder? Well, I am what I am. Now, if I was any good, I would be confident enough to weld that whole length, but I'm not, so I'm not. It actually looks like a professional, though. I don't know if I've got good enough penetration, but it looks really good. Well, there you have it. Come take a look. Judge me. You want to do the next one, Christy?
No.
So those are the places where I stopped and restarted. Really doesn't look too bad to me. I don't know. I haven't done this side yet, obviously. See if you can put a bolt in. Still a little warm.
Uh-oh.
Except for this one, I can't reach. Still embarrassed about my welds.
Oh.
Tell me when, I can't see.
Keep going. Now a little bit further down to go. Further down.
This size Mini X uses 1/2 inch flat face fittings. I got my fittings and a couple of adapters from Discount Hydraulic Hose, just like usual. They have such a vast selection, as well as it gets here quickly, so that's where I do my shopping. DiscountHydraulichHose.com/TTWT for the kits that we offer, and use code TTWT for a 5% discount. I probably need an elbow or need to turn this a little bit on my machine somehow. Is that backwards or forwards?
well, that'll have to do it for this one. We'll use it in an upcoming episode on the pond, hopefully, if it's a nice day like today. But I'm really happy to have all this fab work done. That's, for somebody that does fabrication, that's nearly nothing. I get it. But for me, that's a pretty big job. And now I hope that it's solid enough that it will hold, at least for the length of time we need to till. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. No negative comments about my welding skills allowed. Well, whatever. We always enjoy your feedback. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. This mystery is that through the gospel, the Gentiles are heirs together with Israel, members together of one body, and sharers together in the promise of Christ Jesus. Cats are finally getting their money's worth here. Except they won't kill the mouse, they just want to torture it. It's irritating. The guy's still in pretty good shape. They need to put him out of his misery. He'll probably eventually, yeah, look, he just about got away. You better get him away from that entrance there.